Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie begins with Sean, a father who is very worried, because his daughter had been missing for 3 days. He's in Mexico, searching for a place where old cars are left. He got a tip that his daughter's car might be there. After looking through many cars, he found his daughter's car in good condition. However, there were no clues except for her friend's glasses. Sean told the local police about finding the car, but when he went back to the location, the car was gone. A police officer named Hector Montoya started questioning Sean's story, thinking he might be making it up. Hector told Sean to leave, because he entered the place without permission, which could get him in trouble. Sean lives on a farm near the border in Texas. When he got home, his oldest daughter was upset with him, blaming him for not protecting the family. Sean's wife, Susan, tried to comfort him, but he was still worried about their missing daughter. He shared his suspicions about the police officers with Susan, and decided to report the issue to the consulate. The next morning, before heading to the consulate, he received a visit from Max, an old friend from his military days. During their conversation, it was revealed that Sean was a former colonel, involved in a special forces unit responsible for extreme missions like executions, massacres, and the elimination of criminals. Max came to offer his help in the search for Sean's missing daughter, expressing genuine concern for Sean's family. Despite appreciating Max's concern, Sean, aware of Max's brutal methods from their military past, decided not to involve him in the search. Knowing his notorious reputation, Sean declined the offer and resolved to handle the situation on his own. At the consulate, Sean was accompanied by the father of his daughter's friend. It was revealed that Sean's daughter was not missing alone, she was with her friend. Sean recounted the events, expressing his suspicions about 2 Mexican policemen involved in the case. As a consul representing his country in Mexico, Sean was well informed about the current situation, particularly concerning a cartel or syndicate led by a former mercenary named Victor Garza. The plot thickens as Sean delves deeper into the complexities surrounding his missing child. Victor Garza had risen to become the most feared and respected cartel leader in all of Mexico. The consul, deeply concerned, expressed the possibility that Sean's child might have been abducted by Victor's henchmen. Faced with this grim scenario, the consul advised Sean to accept the situation, and let go of the case if he desired a peaceful life. However, the consul's agitation only fueled his curiosity about the true extent of Victor's danger. The consul elaborated on several heinous crimes attributed to Victor, including the assassination of an honest police chief, the disappearance of 400 Mexican citizens, and various other offenses. All these crimes were believed to be committed by Victor's predominantly ex-mercenary forces. The case quickly became headline news, with the daughter of a former colonel missing at the border. Sean and his wife found themselves in the spotlight, being interviewed by the media. While his wife could only weep, Sean expressed firm determination, assuring his child to be patient and wait, as he vowed to find her soon, one way or another. The stakes were high as Sean delved into a dangerous web of crime led by Victor Garza with hope. Meanwhile, in the shadows, Victor tuned into the news, and discovered that one of the girls handed over to him was the daughter of a former United States colonel. The realization struck him with the potential to disrupt his business relationships with some colleagues in America, especially if Sean was to escalate the case further. Concerned about the consequences, Victor swiftly took action. He immediately apprehended the 2 policemen responsible for Sean's daughter's abduction, determined to hold them accountable for the mistake that could jeopardize his dealings. It was unveiled that the very officers who had encountered Sean the day before, Hector Montoya and his accomplice, were the ones behind the wrongful abduction. Victor berated both officers for delivering the wrong girl, recognizing the gravity of the mistake that could lead to significant problems. Without much ado, his associate promptly executed one of the officers. However, sparing Hector Montoya's life, Victor imposed a condition: he must assist his forces in capturing Sean and delivering his head to him. In addition to apprehending the officers responsible, Victor took even more sinister steps to safeguard his interests. He instructed his brother, Carlos, to deploy a contingent of their ruthless mercenary troops to Texas with a chilling objective: the extermination of Sean's entire family. After Hector Montoya was taken away, Victor engaged in a conversation with his beloved brother, emphasizing the need to eliminate Sean and his family in a brutal and public manner. Victor wanted to make a bold statement, demonstrating that their group was not just a small cartel. His intention was for the gruesome act to be covered extensively by the media, spreading terror, fear, and horror. He aimed to instill respect and fear not only in the government, police, and civilians, but also in the minds of other criminals at the mere mention of the name Victor Garza. As Carlos and his men were en route to Texas, Sean was on his farm, completely unaware of the impending danger. Holding a long-barreled rifle, he was focused on warding off pests such as rodents and ravens. Oblivious to the swift movements of Victor's forces, Sean remained in the dark about the grave threat closing in. Sean's senses went on high alert as he witnessed a convoy of vehicles rapidly approaching his direction. Swiftly, he rushed into the house, urgency etched on his face, and instructed his wife and child to hide upstairs. Meanwhile, Carlos and his ruthless mercenaries wasted no time, opening fire indiscriminately. The sharp cracks of gunfire echoed, reaching the ears of a far-off neighbor, who promptly reported the disturbance to a local sheriff. Interrupting his lunch, the sheriff, upon hearing that a resident was in danger, abandoned his meal and hurried to the scene. Despite Sean's battlefield expertise, he found himself outnumbered, as Carlos and his men broke through the front door and invaded the house. Realizing that his home had been breached, Sean strategically shattered plates and glasses on the floor, creating a makeshift alarm system to detect the intruders' movements. Carlos, however, seemed to have miscalculated his strategy. Ordering his men to spread out, inadvertently played into Sean's hands, making it easier for him to eliminate them, one by one in different rooms. The tactical error turned the tables on the invaders. If Carlos had chosen a coordinated entry with his men or opted for a more destructive approach from outside, it might have been a more effective strategy. Yet, it appeared that Carlos preferred a more challenging method over an efficient one, at least from Sean's perspective. Having moved upstairs, Sean instructed his wife and child to escape through the window. While he remained strategically positioned in the room, Carlos, in a coercive move, forced Hector Montoya to ascend the stairs alone. This unwittingly played into Sean's hands, allowing him to easily capture Hector. Meanwhile, with skill and determination, Sean successfully guided his family out of the house, just as the sheriff arrived to investigate the escalating situation. To the sheriff's shock, he discovered a headless body in one of the vehicles, sparking a fierce firefight between him and Carlos's forces emerging from Sean's house. Seizing the opportunity, Sean evacuated his family from the scene. In a daring move, he stepped on the gas pedal, witnessing the sheriff's unfortunate demise, which prompted Carlos to intensify his pursuit. Despite successfully escaping the immediate danger, Sean couldn't relax, as Carlos and his relentless men continued the chase. In a bid to put an end to the endless pursuit, Sean bravely got out of the car and opened fire on Carlos's men. The sudden attack caused panic among the dozen mercenaries brought in by Carlos, and in the chaotic scene, only Carlos remained, regretting not bringing additional troops. Despite being outnumbered and seemingly helpless, he retained his arrogance, refusing to disclose the whereabouts of Sean's daughter. His arrogance crumbled when Sean, fueled by determination, shot both of his legs and arms. After extracting the crucial information he needed, Sean swiftly eliminated Victor's brother. With his daughter now within arm's reach, Sean hesitated to involve his family any further in the dangerous situation. Taking no chances, he escorted his family to a safer location, prioritizing their well-being, and decided to seek additional assistance. He reached out to his friend Max, accepting the offer of help from earlier. Max, who had long missed the adrenaline rush of action, eagerly responded, showcasing his enthusiasm, arriving with specialized equipment stored in the trunk of his car. Meanwhile, Victor found himself in a state of unease, as he was unable to reach his beloved brother. The realization dawned on him that he might be on the brink of a mental blow, anticipating Sean and Max's impending and merciless retaliation. As they closed in on Victor's residence, the atmosphere became charged with the anticipation of a fierce showdown. Upon their arrival, they swiftly and efficiently eliminated every guard, leaving the leader of the largest cartel in Mexico dumbfounded. What initially appeared as confidence and power, now seemed feeble, as Sean and Max relentlessly battered through all of his henchmen. Victor's facade crumbled. With Max and Sean on a relentless mission, they reached the location where Sean's daughter was held captive. The feeble guards present were no match for the determined duo. Having successfully located his daughter and her friend, Sean, whose mission had been accomplished, entrusted the remaining actions to Max, a brutal figure known for favoring extreme torture methods. Victor Garza needed to quickly repent, before Max finished him off in an excruciating manner. The next morning, Max carried Victor's head, intending to place it as a gruesome warning on display by the roadside. Meanwhile, Sean, after the intense ordeal, finally breathed a sigh of relief as his family was reunited. Overjoyed by this reunion, he even decided to shave his mustache and beard. The threat had been eliminated, and they could now look forward to a life without the shadow of danger looming over them. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.